Sophie Wessex Health News. Do Prince Edward, Lady Louise and James have to isolate too? Sophie, Countess of Wessex, is self-isolating after coming into contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. Do Sophie's husband Prince Edward and their children Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn, have to self-isolate too? Sophie, Countess of Wessex, 55, is self-isolating as a precaution after she came into contact with someone who has subsequently tested positive for COVID-19. While the Countess is said not to have any symptoms, she is following government guidance and staying at home. Sophie lives with her husband Prince Edward, 56, and two children Lady Louise Windsor, 16, and James, Viscount Severn, at Bagshot Park in Surrey. While Sophie is having to self-isolate, the rest of her family should be able to continue as normal as long as they observe social distancing measures and isolate if they show symptoms. Lady Louise Windsor attends boarding school St. Mary's Ascot and is unlikely to be at home where her mother Sophie is currently self-isolating. The latest government guidance about when to self-isolate states, if you think you've been in contact with someone who has coronavirus, but you do not have symptoms and have not been told to self-isolate, continue to follow social distancing advice. This piece of advice should apply to Prince Edward and James if they are currently living at home with Sophie. Even though the Countess is asymptomatic, she is likely to have to isolate for 14 days. Royal aides confirmed Sophie had gone into self-isolation on Friday. Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer tweeted, "Royal aides say earlier this week the Countess of Wessex came into contact with someone who has subsequently tested positive for COVID-19. The tweet added, "Sophie is not experiencing any symptoms, but is following all relevant government guidelines and is self-isolating at home." The Countess of Wessex is an active working member of the royal family and carried out a string of engagements earlier this week. On Monday she joined a Mencap charity runner for part of his London Marathon 2020 route around Great Windsor Park. On Tuesday Sophie met pupils at a school in Surrey. On Wednesday she visited the National Space Centre where she chatted to students enrolled in the institution's engineering course. The palace has not confirmed at which of these locations the Countess came into contact with someone who since tested positive for the virus. Prince Edward carried out an important visit to Northern Ireland without Sophie on Wednesday. While there he stepped into his father Prince Philip's shoes as he visited soldiers of the Rifles Regiment based there. The royal family tweeted photos of Prince Edward during the special trip. One of the tweets showing Edward with servicemen read, "As Royal Colonel-in-Chief, HRH also paid a visit to @CO_2 Rifles at Thiepval Barracks." With the majority of 2 Rifles on operational duties in Afghanistan, HRH also met their families to hear about the support available to them, and visited their on-site welfare garden. Prince Edward is expected to take on Prince Philip's Duke of Edinburgh title upon his death.